Good evening. In the previous session, I explained you the concepts regarding distance, displacement, speed, velocity, average velocity. In this session, we are going to see the problems based on the theoretical concepts so far covered. Let us start with distance, displacement concept. Look at the problem. A person runs along a circular path of radius 5 meters. If he completes half of the circle, find the magnitude of the displacement vector and how far the person ran. So, simply a person is moving in a circular path of radius r. Okay, so after completing half a circle, what is the displacement vector magnitude and how far the person ran? So, in the first question, he asked us to find displacement magnitude. In the second part of the question, how far the person ran? That means, what is the distance travelled by the person? Say here, the person is running along the circular path. Let this be the initial point. After completing half the circular path, he travels all along this path. The actual path length travelled is called distance, that is equal to half the circumference of the circle, that is pi r. And here the displacement is the shortest distance between the initial and final positions, that is nothing but the diameter. So, very obviously displacement is 2r, as r is given as 5 meters, displacement is 10 meters. Distance is pi r, so as r is given as 5, distance travelled is 5 pi here. Okay, that is the answer. So, displacement magnitude is 10 meters and distance travelled is 5 pi meters. So, first option is true for that problem. Let us go to the next problem. Second problem. A car makes a displacement of 100 meters towards east. S1 is equal to 100 meters towards east. Then 200 meters. S2 is equal to 200 meters towards north. Find the magnitude and direction of the resultant displacement. See here, our convention is this is east, this is west, this is north, this is south. East is referred as I bar, west is minus I bar, north is referred as J bar, south as minus J bar. Look here, based on this convention, S1 is 100 meters east. So, let us take it as 100 I bar. And S2 is 200 meters north. So, S2 is equal to 200, north is taken as J bar. What is the magnitude and direction of the resultant? Resultant displacement is S1 bar plus S2 bar, that is S is equal to 100 I bar plus 200 J bar. So, the magnitude is given by square root of 100 square plus 200 square from this, isn't it? Square root of ax square plus ay square, 100 square plus 200 square. So, if you take that 100 as a common factor, root of 1 square plus 2 square. So, magnitude of the displacement is 100 root 5 meters. That is the magnitude of the displacement. So, root 5 is 2.23. So, if you take that here, see, root 5 is 2.23. So S is equal to 100 into 2.237. Actually, you can guess from this. It cannot be 300, 100. So it becomes 223.7 meters. So the magnitude is found. Next, we need to find the direction. So here, again from this, let us draw. This is east, west, north, south, I, minus I, j, minus j. Both are positive. So the displacement vector is in the first quadrant. Its x component is 100 and y component is 200. So look at the options, east of north, north of east. So here, let us check this angle. Suppose if you take that as alpha, tan alpha is equal to, opposite side is 200, adjacent side is 100. So alpha is equal to tan inverse 2. North of east. Tan inverse to north of east. You see, so the first option, tan inverse to north of east, first option is correct. Suppose if the answer is given east of north, then you have to go this way. If you take this as beta, just we are learning that also. Actually, that's not asked in the problem. We are just learning one more additional point. So from this diagram, tan beta is equal to opposite side 100 and adjacent side it is 200. So beta is equal to tan inverse 1 by 2. This angle is east of north. So you must be absolutely confident in mentioning the direction. Okay. So if you want to repeat that problem once again, just go back to the same video once again. That is very important model. Let us go to the next problem. A car is moving 40 meters due east. So S1 is equal to 40 meters east, turns towards north. S2 is equal to 30 meters north. Then turns 45 degrees east of north, moves 20 root 2. Look, east is taken as positive x-axis, north as positive y-axis. Look here. I am drawing that. East, west, north, south, I bar, minus I bar, j, minus j. Now look at the third one. 45 degrees east of north. See this one. 45 degrees east of north. So this is 45. This is also 45 because total is 90 degrees. So anyway, it is given 45 degrees east of north. So this is what given, 45 degrees. This is given as 20 root 2. So this component becomes 20 root 2 cos 45 and this component becomes 20 root 2 sin 45. So I am writing S3 in the vector form. 20 root 2 sin 45 is 1 by root 2 I bar plus 20 root 2. This component is cos 45 1 by root 2 along y-axis j bar. So root 2 gets cancelled. S3 is equal to 20I plus 20j. So S1 is 40, S2 is 30. So I am rewriting them. 40 meters east, 40I. 30 meters north, 30j. So all the displacements are written in the vector form. You are asked to find the net displacement of the car. you need to find out the net displacement of the car. S bar is equal to S1 bar plus S2 bar plus S3 bar. This is S1 is 40I, S2 is 30J, S3 is 20I plus 20J. See, 40I plus 30J plus 20I plus 20J. So here 40 plus 20, 60I, 30 plus 20, it is 50J. So displacement vector is 60I plus 50J, that is your second option. Right? We are going to learn a bit more in the problem. Actually, this part is not asked. I am telling you an additional model. See here, in this problem, if you are asked to find magnitude and direction of the net displacement, so magnitude becomes root of 60 square plus 50 square, 10, root of 6 square is 36, 5 square is 25, so it is 36 plus 25. It is 10 root 61 meters. That is the magnitude. And direction is tan inverse 50 by 60. J is north, north of east. See how I could tell? Look, I and J. I is east, J is north. Its x component is 60, y component is 50, and this is the angle alpha. Tan alpha is opposite side by adjacent side. Tan inverse 5 by 6, north of east. So that is how, so this is just displacement vector. In the question, just it is asked in the vector form. If you are asked to find magnitude and direction, then these two, this is the magnitude of the displacement vector, this is the direction of the displacement vector, and this is what actually given in the options. Right? That is. Now go to the next problem. Look here. Displacement of the point of a wheel initially in contact with the ground. When the wheel rolls forward half a revolution, displacement of the point of the wheel you need to find out. See, actually this is a wheel. That wheel rolls forward, rolling, meaning there is translatory motion for the wheel and rotatory motion for the wheel. So this is the initial position. If it completes half the revolution, this point on completing half the revolution, this point reaches the top. So the vertical displacement of the point A, V is nothing but the diameter of the wheel, that is equal to 2r, and the horizontal distance moved is 2 pi r into n. Here 2 pi r, n is half the revolution. So horizontal displacement is pi into r. So x horizontal displacement is pi into r. Radius of the wheel is given as 1. So it is pi meters. Vertical displacement is given as 2r. R is given as 1. It is just 2 meters. So the net displacement is of the point A is root of x square plus y square. I am talking about the displacement of the point A, not the center of mass. So here, see the displacement of the point of the wheel initially in contact with the floor. So we are interested in the displacement of the point A. So its horizontal displacement is pi, vertical displacement is 2, net displacement is root of pi square plus 2 square, that is equal to 4. So root pi square plus 4 is the correct answer. With x-axis, see here, it is like that. Actually, the displacement vector is like this. Horizontal displacement is pi, vertical displacement is 2. So this is alpha. So tan alpha is equal to 2 by pi, or alpha is equal to tan inverse 2 by pi with positive x-axis. So answer is root of pi square plus 4, tan inverse 2 by pi with x-axis. Second option given is perfectly right for that problem. Clear? Good. Let us go to the next problem. Look here. A bird moves in such a way that it has a displacement of 12 meters east. So S1 is equal to 12 meters east, 5 meters north. S2 is equal to 5 meters north. Then 9 meters vertically up. Upward direction is referred as K bar. So 9 meters vertically up. So east is referred as I bar. So S1 is equal to 12 I bar. S2 is equal to 5 J bar. Upward direction is referred as K bar, 9 K bar. So the net displacement S bar is equal to S1 plus S2 plus S3, that is 12I plus 5J plus 9K. So the magnitude of the displacement is 12 square plus 5 square plus 9 square, implies displacement is equal to square root of 144 plus 25 plus 81. So 144 plus 169 plus 81, it is 250 under square root. So 25, if you take it outside, it is 5 root 10 meters. This is the correct answer for that problem. This second option is the correct answer for that problem, 5 root 10. Is that okay? So here it has a displacement 12 meters east, 5 meters north, and so on. Okay, so this is the answer for that problem. Let us go to the next model or next problem. Look here, problems based on average velocity. Read the problem. Just what we know about average velocity is, we know only one concept. Average velocity is total displacement by total time. Total displacement by total time. So all problems can be done based on this concept. Look here. A cyclist takes 1 minute. Time taken is 1 minute to complete half the revolution in a circular path of radius 120 meters. What is the average velocity? Just look at the options. It is given in meters per second. So this time has to be converted into seconds. This is 60 seconds. If it completes half the revolution, what is the displacement? Starting from this point, after completing half the revolution, it reaches this point. So displacement is nothing but the diameter. So diameter is 2r, that is 240 meters. average velocity is equal to total displacement, that is 240. Total time is 60. So it is 4 meter per second. So fourth option is true for that problem. Okay. Now, next problem. Look here. A boy walks to his school at a distance of 6 kilometers at a constant speed of 2.5 kmph. He walks to the school with a constant speed of 2.5 kmph and walks back with a constant speed of 4 kmph. Look how smart the boy is. He is going slowly to the college and walking back very fast from the college to the house. Okay, so look here. A boy walks to his school at a distance of 6 kilometers with a speed 2.5 kmph and back with a speed of 4 kmph. Average speed. Here the most important word is average speed. See here, in this question, average speed is asked. Average speed is equal to total distance by total time. Right? So, look here. Total distance is 6 kilometers forward and 6 kilometers backward. So, total distance is 6 plus S1 is 6. S2 is 6. That is okay. And coming to the time, T1 is S1 by V1. S1 is 6, V1 is 2.5. Right? So, T2 is equal to S2 by V2. S2 is 6. Again, he is coming back from the school. So, the same distance, 6, but V2 is 4 here. Okay, 6 by 4. So, total distance S1 plus S2 by total time T1 plus T2. 6 by 2.5 plus 6 by 4. So, what do we get here? So, actually if you solve this, you will be getting the relation as 2. Okay, do it. You can take that 6 as common factor and cancel that. So, it is 1 plus 1 by 2.5 plus. So, take the LCM as 2.5 into 4. So, this is 4 plus 2.5. So, the answer becomes, look here, this is 2 into 2.5 into 4 by 4 plus 2.5, that is 6.5. Okay, so if you look at the options, you just to get the answer in like the options, multiply and divide that with 2. What do we get? Denominator is 13. So, 2.5s are 10. 10 into 4, it is 40 by 13. So, this is the method based on the concept. But in the synopsis part, we have learnt a shortcut method. Suppose if a body travels half the distance with a speed v1, the next half the distance with a speed v2, then average speed is 2v1 v2 by v1 plus v2. If you remember that formula, because he is traveling 6 kilometers in this direction, the same 6 kilometers in the opposite direction. But as far as speed is concerned, distance is concerned, direction doesn't matter. So, he travels half the distance with V1, next half the distance with V2, then the formula is, so it is 2 into V1 V2, 2.5 into 4 divided by 2.5 plus 4 is 6.5. As the option is to get the answer in the option form, 2 6.5s are 13, it is 40 by 13. just a single step problem. You need not do all the things. So the advantage of memorizing the shortcut formulae is, while doing the problem, if you do the calculation part that lengthy, there is a possibility of making a mistake somewhere. So such kind of simple formulae, if you remember with the concept behind your head, then you can score really well in your NEET as well as JEE main exam. Okay, so simply the formula here is average speed is asked, half the distance with V1, remaining half with V2. So average is 2V1 V2 by V1 plus V2. Is it all right? Suppose in the same problem, just one word. Instead of asking average speed, if he asks you to find the average velocity. If average velocity is asked, the answer becomes average velocity for the round trip becomes equal to 0. Because he is starting from the house, coming back to the house. So the displacement is 0, average velocity is 0. Simply, if that one word is changed from speed to velocity, average velocity becomes equal to 0, answer becomes 0. Okay. Let us go to the next problem. A train is moving at a constant velocity of 54 km/h, moves eastwards for 30 minutes. Okay, so it is traveling with 54 km/h for 30 minutes. Okay, then this is with a constant velocity east. This is V1. And then it moves due north with the same speed, that is 54 km/h, due north for 40 minutes. 40 minutes. What is the average velocity during this run? So, average velocity formula is total displacement by total time. Right? Very obviously, time is given, but displacements are not given. From the equation, V is equal to S by T, S is equal to V into T. So, the formula becomes V1T plus V2T by T1 plus T2. Here the challenge is, answer is given in kilometer per hour. So you have to convert the time to kilometer per hour. So here, see here. So S1 is equal to V1. First, let us convert times. T1 is equal to 30 minutes. If you convert that into hours, 30 by 60, that is half an hour. And T2 is 40 by 60, or it is 2 by 3 hours. So S1 is equal to V1 into T. V1 is 54 km/h. And 30 minutes means half an hour east. East is given as or taken as I bar. So S1 is implies S1 is equal to 27 I bar. And S2, it continues to move with the same speed, 54 km/h for 40 minutes. 40 time is converted into hours, 2 by 3, due north. North is taken as J bar. So here this is 318 times. So S2 is equal to 36 J bar. So the displacement is 27 I bar plus 36 J bar. So magnitude is root of 27 square plus 36 square. If you look at it, you can take that 9 as a common factor. 9 root of 3 square plus 4 square. Root of 3 square plus 4 square is 5. So 45 kilometers is the total or net displacement. Right? So we could get the net displacement. But you are asked to find average velocity. So average velocity is equal to total displacement by total time. Total time is T1 plus T2. That is 1 by 2 plus 2 by 3. LCM is 6. It is 3 plus 4. It is 7 by 6. Right? So, if you take that 7 by 6 is the total time. 1 by 2 plus 2 by 3. LCM is 6. 3 plus 4. 7 by 6. So, if you simplify that, very obviously you will be getting an answer less than 45. And not a round figure. Answer is going to be the third option, 38.6 meters. Is it okay? So 38.6 average velocity, kilometer per hour. If you simplify that, 38.6 kilometer per hour is the average velocity for that problem. Do you understand? See here, train is moving. Just if you can straight away come to this part of the problem. Train is moving with a constant speed 54 kmph eastwards for half an hour and then with the same speed northwards for 40 minutes. 40 minutes you have to convert that into hours, 2 by 3 hours. Displacement is V into T. So from that equation, the displacement vector is this much, magnitude is 45 kmph, average velocity is total displacement by total time. Total time is half an hour plus 2 by 3 hours, it is 7 by 6 hours, so 38.6 kmph. Now, let us go to the next problem. A car moves half of its time at 80 kmph. Half the time with 80 kmph. Remaining half the time at 40 kmph. Total distance covered is 60 kilometers. What is the average speed? If a body covers half the time with V1, half the time with V2, we know the average velocity is just V1 plus V2 by 2. We know that formula already. Half the time with V1, remaining half with V2, then average velocity. So it is 80 plus 40. V average is equal to 80 plus 40 by 2, 120 by 2, that is 60 kmph. Correct answer is the first option. Here, the distance covered is a redundant data in the problem. That's very common in objective examinations. If something which is not needed to solve the problem is given, we get confused. We think to include that also into the problem. But actually here, distance is not needed to solve the problem. Now, let us go to the next problem. A man walks on a straight road from his home to a market 2.5 kilometers away with a speed of 5 kmph. Finding the market closed, he instantly turns and walks back home with a speed of 7.5 kmph. Average speed of the man over an interval of time 0 to 40 minutes. This is a beautiful problem. Look here. Look here. So, read the problem. A man walks on a straight road from home to a market 2.5 kilometers away with a speed of 5 kmph. V1 is 5 kmph. Okay, finding the market close, he instantaneously turns and walks back home with a speed of 7.5 kmph. Average speed in the interval of 40 minutes is asked. Look here, what all we know is average speed is equal to total distance by total time. So direction is not of importance here because speed has no direction, distance has no direction. So here the distance traveled from his home to the market, S1 is equal to 2.5 kilometers. Time taken for the travel is S1 by V1 is the time taken. S1 is 2.5 and V1 is 5. S1 by V1 is half an hour. So S1 is known, S2 is known, T1 is known. And look here, what is the time left? You are not asked to find the average speed over the round trip. You are asked to find the average speed in 40 minutes. See here, in half an hour, that is in 30 minutes, he has travelled a distance of 2.5 kilometers. In the next 10 minutes, if you convert that into hours, the time taken is T2. So T2 is equal to 1 by 6 hours. In this time, the distance covered is S is equal to V into T. And here, velocity is given as 7.5 and time is given as 1.6. So, S2 is equal to 7.5 into 1 by 6, 1.5 5 times, 4 times, this is 1.25. So, here T1 is half an hour and T2 is 10 by 60, that is 1 by 6 hours, and S2 is 1.25 meters, kilometers. Then average speed is equal to total distance S1 plus S2, 2.5 plus 1.25 kilometer, 1.25 divided by T1 is half an hour and T2 is 1 by 6 hours. So here let us simplify that calculation. This is V average is equal to 2.5 plus 1.25 is 3.75 by taking 6 as the LCM, 3 plus 1. This is 3.75 into 6 by 4. That is the answer. So, look at the options given. Look at the options given. In the denominator, there is 8. So, just I am writing from this point. V average is equal to 3.75 into 6 by 4. To make the denominator 8, let us multiply and divide that with 2. So, this becomes 3.5s are 7.5. 7.5 into 6 are 45. That is 45 by 8 kilometer per hour is the correct answer. So, look at the problem. A man walks straight from road to a market S1 with this much, and then he instantaneously turns and walks back home 7.5 and so on. Okay, now I am going to tell you the shortcut method for that problem. Instead of doing this entire thing, I'll tell you a shortcut method. So, look here. Okay, so we are going to see a shortcut method for that problem. A man walks on a straight road. S1, 2.5 kilometers with a speed V1, 5 km/h. Okay, he instantly turns back and walks with a speed of 7.5 kilometers per hour. V2 is equal to 7.5 km/h. So here T1 is given as half an hour. 2.5 with a speed 5 km/h. So T1 we could find it as half an hour because T is equal to S by V. T1 is equal to S1 by V1. Now, forget about this. T1 is known, V1 is known. And T2, 30 minutes is done. So, you are asked to find the speed in 40 minutes. So, remaining 10 minutes, if you convert that into hours, it is 1 by 6 hours. Then, V1, T1, V2, T2 are given. Average speed is total distance V2, T2 by total time T1 plus T2. So here V1 is 5, T1 is half. V2 is 7.5, T2 is 1 by 6 divided by T1 is 1 by 2, T2 is 1 by 6. So you have to simplify that. So here in this case this is 2.5 and this is 4 and this is 5. This is 1.25. So this is 3.75 by, if you take LCM as 6, it is 3 plus 1, 4. So again 3.75 by 4 into 6. On simplification, we got it as 45 by 8 km/h. If you can apply this shortcut, you can save some time. Otherwise, you have to go for the previous method. So, with that, I'll stop here for today. And in the next class, I'm going to continue with equations, problems based on equations of motion in case of a body moving with uniform acceleration. Okay, I'll stop here for today. Thank you and bye-bye.